And welcome everybody to our interview meeting up with the awesome, the one and only Livia Pellegrino from First National Excalibur. For those that don't know Livia, she's worked with Forest City for a long period of time. But if she is new to you, then you need to get to know her. Liv, thanks for joining us today. I know you're going to run through a bit of a presentation here. But I'll let you take it away and we'll go from there. And I'm going to go silent because nobody was here to listen to me today.
Oh my goodness, Trevor, thank you so much for that amazing introduction. And Trevor, we've known each other for over 20 years. And I just think that, what you've created with DLC Forest City Funding with you and Bill is just tremendous. Thank you so much, DLC Forest City Funding, for all your support to First National over the years. You guys have incredible brokers, and every one of us, underwriting, sales, we all love working with you. Your caliber of agents are just incredible, and it's such a pleasure and an honor to work with DLC Forest City Funding every day. And thank you again so much for your support. So again, my name is Livia Pellegrino, Regional Sales Manager for Excalibur in Ontario. Your account manager, Trevor, for your team is Sandra Lethby, who's a great resource. Please reach out to Sandra anytime you have questions, or for Southwest Ontario, please always reach out to me. We are always here to help you. So we'll get started. Thanks so much. So what I'm going to talk about today are our Excalibur programs. If you want to hit the slide one more time, please. Sorry, thanks. Our Excalibur products. How is Excalibur different? And a big differentiator with Excalibur is our graduation program, which I love. And I'll get into that at the very end. And our new Excalibur Wizard program, which you guys are already a part of, and helping you earn more money for all the hard work you do. So these are our net suite of products. We've got Bruised Credit, extended ratios, stated income, rentals, our new home equity secured MasterCard, and our newest product is our declared income program. So the first one is one of our newest products that was just launched in March of this year. It's our home equity secured MasterCard. The client actually does get this credit card sent to them 7 to 10 days after the closing. If your clients do need the funds within 3 weeks after closing, please make sure that you get the client. Please make sure that you have us wire the funds to the lawyer. It does take some time, 7 to 10 business days, for the cards to arrive to the client's house and then activate. And then with a cash advance, if they need a lot of funds, they do need to call Dual Bank for that. So please make sure if your clients need the funds within 3 weeks after closing, please have us wire the funds to the lawyer. So this is the credit card that they get. The credit card is all managed by Dual Bank of Canada. So they do get a monthly statement sent to them by Dual Bank, and all inquiries do go to Dual Bank of Canada, not First National Customer Service. So please keep that in mind. All right, so what is the MasterCard good for? Well, there's a few things there that are listed, but what I love about the secured MasterCard is, let's say your client has a great first mortgage with another lender at a very, very low rate. Rates were as low as 1.39%. So your client could have a great first mortgage at another lender or First National, it doesn't matter, but they got a good low rate and they don't want to lose that. They just need to take out some equity out of their house. They keep their first mortgage in place. The secured MasterCard will go behind any lender out there, whether it's a traditional mortgage or a collateral mortgage. One of those, it's fine. We will go behind any mortgage or any collateral except for a chipper first mortgage or a reverse type of mortgage or a private. So clients came to you a year ago under a stated income product because their BFS or their credit score was really high. Now their credit score is a little low, but they do need that money. Think of the MasterCard. They keep their first mortgage in place, and this goes in second position. So it's for refis and purchases of owner-occupied properties only in Ontario right now. Next slide. Perfect. So we can go up to 80% loan to value, and the 80% would be the first, and then the MasterCard total, it cannot exceed 80%. The MasterCard itself cannot exceed 65% loan to value. The minimum credit limit for the credit card is $10,000, but we've just increased it to $250,000, which is wonderful. So that's a big differentiator. There are other lenders that do offer a credit card secured to the property, but their minimum is $75,000. Maybe your client doesn't have enough equity, or maybe they just, really shouldn't have a $75,000 credit card. Our minimum is $10,000, which is a differentiator. How we qualify for this is you're looking at the contract rate plus 2%. You are selecting a mortgage on Velocity or Filogix, whatever platform you're using. You're selecting a mortgage. In your notes, you're saying that you are requesting the secured MasterCard. So you're choosing it like a mortgage product. You're using a 50-year AM, qualifying a contract rate plus 2. TDS on that is actually 50%, and we don't look at the GDS on this product. TDS max is 50%. Minimum beacon score with this product is 580. Again, someone that's, kind of hurt their credit a little bit. This is a great alternative for them to access equity in their property at some pretty competitive rates. And the great thing about this too is that it does report on their credit bureau, which means it's going to reestablish their credit. Great way to reestablish someone's credit is with this credit card. 2 borrowers only for this product. So no more than 2 borrowers on title or on the first or on this product. So the great thing about this is just a few weeks ago, we announced that we have increased the limit. We have gone up to now 250,000. Credit score must be 700, and the loan to value, including the first, cannot exceed 70%. The next tier is 200,000. Loan to value cannot exceed 75%, and the credit score must be 660. Or the third tier is credit of 100. Limit is 150,000. Minimum credit score is 580, and the loan to value cannot exceed 80%, including the first. So this is our pricing matrix right here. Top bar is the credit score, sidebar is the loan to value. So you can see if the client has a great credit score of 720, loan to value is under 60%, including the first, they get a really good competitive rate of 4.7. And the great thing about this is that 4.7 applies to everything, whether it's cash advances or in-store purchases, they will only be charged 4.7%. Consider that. The higher rate spectrum, 580 beacon score, loan to value at 80%. Credit, the rate is 11.7. But this is a very competitive rate compared to most credit cards that are over 19%, cash advances that are much higher in interest rate. Consider that when they are using this, it is a cheaper rate compared to most credit cards that are not secured. So extended ratios, we have up to 80% loan to value. We do go 50-50. Up to 65%, we can consider 55-55 as long as it's owner occupied, and there's no exception to the property in terms of that the property is actually on our approved lending area list, and there's no exception to income. So we're not doing this, getting an exception to 2-year averages or year to date's not on track to the 2 years. As long as it's all tickety boo, there's no exception. We can go 55-55 up to 65% for owner occupied properties. So down payments, we do accept gifted down payments from immediate family members, mom, dad, brother, sister, grandma, grandpa. That's what we consider. We do require 20% down payment from own resources and gifted sources. And we only require 30-day bank statement history. So if the client did put a deposit with their offer, we do need the 30-day history from when they put that deposit, and we also need the 30 days for the remainder of the deposit. So keep that in mind. Other alternative lenders do require 90 days. We only require 30 days, which is a big differentiator. So with Excalibur, find out the story. It's so important to tell us, everything about the client, whether there's nuances or quirks on the credit bureau that don't match up what you're inputting on your application. Google your clients, their name, the property, and the employer. It's so important to really have a great understanding of your borrowers. And that's important, especially with our Bruised Credit product, our program. So our minimum beacon score for Bruised Credit is 560. Consumer proposals, we do pay them out, so the client doesn't need to be discharged. We actually do pay out consumer proposals. We do also pay out judgments, collections, CRA taxes and arrears, and we also consider lending to borrowers who have declared have previously been in bankruptcy. We only require 6 months discharge from bankruptcy. They do not require to have any reestablished credit. So 6 months, no reestablished credit with previous bankruptcies. But back again, tell us the story. What happened? Why the clients, have declare bankruptcy or why were they in CP. We do need that story. So that's the Bruised Credit program. Thank you. So business for self, this is our business for self stated income program. It is based on bank statements. Minimum beacon score is 560. For rentals, we will apply this program to our rental program. Minimum is 600 beacon score. And again, TDS, GDS 50-50, 55-55 up to 65% for owner occupied. Loan amount is 1.5 million. That's across the board for all of our products, pretty much. We don't have a sliding scale. The client does require to have 20%. The caveat with the business for self program is we do require 2 years of tenure. So whether that's with confirming it with a business license, articles of incorporation, or an HST number, we do require the borrower to be BFS for 2 years. If it's less than 2 years, we do want to see 1 year under their belt as BFS. And then we do want to confirm that in their previous role, they were employees doing the exact same occupation or the exact same field. And we will require confirmation of that with a T4 or something, record of employment. Okay, expenses. Excalibur, we do not have a fixed percentage of expenses for our product. We actually do look at specific expenses based on the occupation. So a good one is a restaurant owner. What are the main expenses? Well, the premises that the restaurant is operating from, do they have rent? Do they have a mortgage payment? Do they have employees? What are the wages that they're paying their employees? Cost of foods, cost of alcohol. All those things are deducted from their revenue. So we do definitely look at that by looking at the bank statements, 6 months or a year of bank statements, and going through them to see what is the revenue less what are the expenses coming out. Now, let's say the bank statements don't show a specific or an expense that is very indicative of that occupation. We will ask you, please provide us what they spend on, cell phone. We don't see the cell phone coming out of the bank account. What is their cell phone expense? So we will go back to you and ask for that, because a cell phone, most people have that to run their business. So again, this is what we do. We take the gross business annual income, we minus the annual expenses to get our business income that we're using to qualify the application. Again, here's a list of typical standard expenses to operate any business. If you're unsure, please reach out to Sandra or myself. We can always go over that with you, just so that we're all working from, we are looking at the documents before we're submitting the file. So again, 6 months bank statements, work with that first. Don't pull the 12, because that's a lot of work for you. And it's a lot of work for the underwriters that do have to go through it. Try to work with 6 first. If 2 months were interrupted due to COVID, no problem. Just back up 2 months before when they were in operation. We don't need the full 12 if we don't need it. We do need a handful of invoices or contracts, 4 to 6 invoices to match the deposits in the bank statements. Again, to confirm tenure, we do need articles of incorporation, the business license or the HST number, and the self-declared letter that is found on Merlin, which hopefully all of you have access to Merlin. This is our business for self and declared income declaration letter. So you can see here, we ask the details. We do actually ask for the qualifying income. Don't fill that out until you and the underwriter have identified what income is being used based on the bank statements that were reviewed. Wait for your underwriter and yourself to have a conversation before you input that. Another great thing is you'll see the GST or HST number. If the client doesn't have access to their articles, business license, or the HST number certificate, you can input that number right there. We will do our checks to match when that registration was created for their HST number to confirm tenure. Another great thing about Excalibur, we do not do phone interviews with your clients. We go by this letter, and we go by our conversations and our documentation provided by you. All right, our rental program. Great thing about Excalibur rental program, we will refinance up to 80% loan to value. Whether it's on the prime side or alternative lenders, most of them will not. We will go up to 80% as long as your borrower has a 680 beacon score. Another great thing about this is we can use that BFS program. I just went over 6 months bank statements to qualify for this for a rental purchase. Minimum beacon score is 680. And we will do a purchase up to 80%, even with a Beacon score of 680. The other wonderful thing about our rental program is we will accept gifted down payment for the down payment. So we can accept it from, again, immediate family member, another differentiator with our rental program. Another great thing about our rental program is rental income. We do not use a rental offset. We actually take 100% of the rental income, either from market rents, from a full appraisal, or from the lease agreement. And we add that as other income. So where you normally would put, child support or child tax credit or alimony or spousal support, you would put that in the same area on velocity, and you would add all of that income as other income. It also applies to a borrower who's purchasing a owner-occupied property with a basement apartment. Again, if the appraisal confirms that it is a separate apartment with its own kitchen and its own bathroom and its own entrance, we will use 100% of that rental income as other income. Now, for non-subject rentals, even if it's one, you would use the rental worksheet for Excalibur found in Merlin. And if there's a surplus after all of the expenses, we add that surplus as other income. If there's a deficit, you take that as a liability and you add that to your monthly debts. Please ensure that you exclude the PITH for the non-subject rental, and it's not included in the TDS. So again, if that other non-subject rental is making a profit, awesome. That goes straight as income, and we take out the non-subject rental in the qualifying. The other caveat with our rental program, just keep in mind, we do have a $100,000 net worth requirement, but that is inclusive in the equity in the subject rental or any other additional properties they have. So this is our brand new declared income program that was just launched a few months ago. This is let's get our MIC hats on. So this is almost like a private type of mortgage. However, the wonderful thing about this is that the clients are with First National. So they get access to the My Mortgage portal. They get the home warranty for free for the first year. So they get all the luxuries of being with a lender, but they're qualifying it. We're qualifying it as if it's a private type of mortgage. So this is for someone that is typically self-employed, shows no deposits in their bank account. It's a really cash, hand to cash kind of business. The bank statements aren't going to show it. The 2-year average is not going to show it. This is for your borrower that typically does not show it on paper, their business revenue, or somebody else that is an employee that has other sources of income coming in, but they can't really be verified. So a family member that's living with them, so they're contributing, there's a contributory income component, or they're trust fund kids and they're getting a monthly supplement from a trust fund or a wealthy family member. We can consider that. We just need to know the story. How is this mortgage going to be paid? Keep in mind the lending areas is GTA, Cambridge, Guelph, Hamilton, Kitchener-Waterloo, Barrie, and Ottawa. There is no TDS or GDS applicable to this program. Minimum Beacon score is 570. Loan to value is 65%. However, we will allow a second up to 85% loan to value. Yes, we will allow a second up to 85% loan to value. Just put the details of that second mortgage in your liabilities. Again, TDS, GDS is not really an issue here, so it doesn't really matter if that's in there or not. And again, we do accept gifted down payment with this program. So keep that in mind with this. Now, the rates are a bit higher. They do start at 5.49 with a 1% fee. However, I understand 549 with a 1% fee sounds high. Even though there are other MICs out there that are offering 399, their fees are higher, 3 to 4%. And again, they don't get the other benefits of being with First National, a customer service line, the My Mortgage portal, the free home warranty. And then later on, once your clients qualify, we can always graduate them to Excalibur regular side or even the prime side. So your clients are with a reputable lender and they're getting all the bells and whistles with a First National mortgage. Okay, Income documentation, all we need for this is if they are employees, we do need a job letter, pay stub, we do the verbal, and we will want some sort of confirmation how they're getting this extra money. Let's talk to our underwriters when that does happen, and we'll see what we need. But for BFS, all we need is a business license, articles of incorporation, or an HST GST return or number on that self-declared letter. Now, your clients could have been BFS for years, but yet they've never registered their business, because technically, I think if they're not making more than 30,000, they don't really need to register a business. No problem. Even if they registered their GST or HST number or got a business license last week, not a problem. We will accept that, but do note in your file that the client has been BFS for many years. He just registered his business a few weeks ago. We're fine with that. It's not a problem. All right. So how is Excalibur different from all the other alternative lenders? Well, first off, we have the highest rate hold in the industry. For purchases, we have 120 days. We also offer pre-approvals. There is no other alternative lender out there that offers pre-approvals. So if you've got that, if you need a rate hold, no problem. But let's say you've got that deal with borderline credit, you're unsure of their new income, send that in. We'll take a look at it. We'll do pretty much a full underwriting. Now, if it's BFS, unfortunately, the underwriter is not going to comb through 6 months of bank statements for BFS. But if the credit is, you're unsure about the credit, it is borderline, or they just started a new job and you want to make sure that the probationary part is okay, send those types of in. We will definitely underwrite that. Another differentiator, bridge financing. We are one of the only alternative lenders that offers bridge financing, and at this very competitive rate. Prime +2 with a $500 fee. This is unheard of in the alt space. So nowadays, everyone typically, when they're selling or buying a property, they typically want a couple days to have that time to clean their house, clean the house they're moving in, and move at a more ease of pace. So bridge financing is very important. Consider that with Excalibur for your alternative borrowers. Appraisal list, we do need a full appraisal every time with Excalibur. You can find our approved appraiser list on Merlin. It's the same as the prime side. Home warranty, the Echelon home warranty, it's free to all Excalibur clients in their first year with their mortgage with us. This covers up to $10,000 per year on the furnace, the AC unit, any electrical or any plumbing problems. So again, $10,000 to cover those 4 things within their house. Now, I do want to address its normal wear and tear. If your client has a 15-year-old AC unit, it's rusted through with leaves and maybe a rodent in there stuck from years ago. If it's done, unfortunately, we're not going to replace that. So keep that in mind. It's a normal wear and tear. If the client has a brand new Train furnace, Train is a very good quality furnace. It's 7 years old. All of a sudden, it just goes, it just goes on them. It's not working anymore. That's bad luck. We will consider replacing that. So again, it's free. It's offered to all of our clients, including our Excalibur clients. Our penalties, I feel confident that they are the lowest in the industry. We use 3 months interest or IRD, whichever is greater, and we don't need a bona fide sale agreement. So we don't need them to sell their house to break out of their mortgage like other lenders do. If they want to leave, they want to move out, whatever it is, they want to leave First National, not a problem. We offer mortgages of 1.5 million. As long as the client has 20% down, we will go up to 1.5 million. Quick closes are available, especially for our valued partners at TLC Forest City Funding. We want to work with you. We are so grateful for your partnership and your valued brokers. So we definitely want to work with quick closes. All we ask is you just get us all the docs up front, purchase agreement, down payment, income, all that stuff's up front, and we can definitely close a deal within a week. So please reach out to us. We'd love to help you guys with those situations. So let us know why we're getting it so last minute. We want to help you. Another differentiator, grad program. So you've told your clients, look, Mr. Client, I can't get you with a prime lender. I'm going to be putting you with an alternative lender, First National. Your clients might feel uneasy about that. They've never been to an alternative lender. They've always been used to a prime lender. Give them this ray of hope that Mr. Client, Mrs. Client, don't worry. In a year from now, when your credit score goes up, or 2 years from now, when you show more income claimed on your T1 generals, we're going to put you on the prime side with First National. And this is the great thing about it. The next slide, please. The great thing about it is that at maturity, If the clients add no new money, they're just doing a straight switch and they now can qualify on the prime side, reach out to Samir or reach out to Dominic to make sure they do. That's your prime account managers. Run it by them to say, hey, can this now go on the prime side? If it does, we're going to pick it up from Excalibur. We're going to bring it to the prime side. And the great thing is there's absolutely no cost to the client, no FCT fee. And if AVM does not pass and a full appraisal is required, not a problem. We are going to cover that as well. We'll order the appraisal. We'll pay for the appraisal. And the best part about this, you get paid like a brand new prime deal all over again. And with your status with First National, you are getting top commissions with First National. So again, win-win for your clients to get them a goal set for them to go to the prime side. There's no cost for them to switch, and you get paid all over again. Our Excalibur Rewards program, next slide. And of course, you guys are our top wizards as usual, which is incredible. So your team has already funded 20 million year to date. Thank you so much. We are so grateful with all your support to Excalibur. You have funded your 20 million. So what that means is on every deal, you're going to get 10 bips up front. And then at the end of the year, if your individual funding ratio is 65%, we will pay you another 10 basis points on all the volume you funded with Excalibur. So you have a potential of earning an extra 20 basis points. If you want to know compensation, please reach out to myself or to Sandra, and we'll tell you what you're getting paid on a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, plus you're getting this additional bonus. You're making some pretty good coin here, and you all deserve it for your support to First National Excalibur.
All right, Liv, awesome job.
I need a drink of water. Goodness gracious.
That is awesome. There is a ton of information in there for everyone as they're reviewing this. And so the one thing that I'll say before I ask you the one question that I have, because you've answered everything, these recordings are sort of dated. So policies do change. Please reach out to either Liv or Sandra if you have questions or you're not sure. And just I wanted to get that out of the way and clear that.
Thanks for the disclaimer.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And so the one question I have, and it's sort of a question that's always with me, especially when we're working on the alternative side. One, how important are the notes? And then just part B to that is, what are the main components that your underwriters would like to see in the notes?
Absolutely. Great question, Trevor. And I know that with your, rocket training that you're doing with your agents, you know the importance of good notes and good documentation. So again, as I mentioned, I touched on earlier, it's so important to address any nuances to the file. So if their credit is, if there's something wrong with their credit, late repayments, collections, address it. Did they lose their job? Were they impacted due to COVID? Was it situational? We just want to know, what has taken place? Why do they owe taxes to CRA? Was it just because of last year's filing in 2020? No problem. We can pay that out. Or are they carrying CRA taxes in arrears for the last 5 years? And if they did, why is that? Were they just suddenly reassessed last year from 5 years ago? Is that what happened? We just want to know the story. In terms of someone that is an employee, even address that. Are they guaranteed 40 hours? Are they, if they're not guaranteed, how are you claiming, or how are you arriving at the income you're arriving? Are you using a 2-year average? So clearly address how you got your income. What are you using to get to that income that you're inputting? It's so important. The other thing I'd like to stress is please collect your documents up front. This is what holds up every underwriter, every fulfillment specialist, is that they're working off the application that was submitted, and now they're getting income documents that are not even close to what's on the application. And the underwriters are now, and the fulfillment specialists are restarting, re-underwriting, re-reviewing the file all over again. And that's what takes up a lot of underwriters' times, is just reworking, re-looking at files that it's not matching what was the application to what is the document. So data integrity is so important. Save yourself the back and forth with the underwriter, the back and forth with your client, collect docs up front. And I know, Trevor, you are a big supporter of that. I know that you give that message out to all your agents.
Yeah, for sure, Liv. And thanks so much for answering that in a very clear way. I think that's easily understood by all of the brokers. And I just want to thank you for spending the time. I know this is a little bit of a different format and different world that we're living in these days, but it's important to us to make sure that we're supporting Excalibur and First National as a whole. And we want to make sure that these messages do get out to each and every one of our brokers and that they're able to go back on it. And we strongly, strongly encourage our brokers to reach out to Liv and Sandra, as well as Dominic and Samir on the prime side for any questions that you may have. Liv, this has been 30 minutes with Livia Pellegrino. I think this is that we're going to call this program now 30 minutes with.
I love it.
It was great. You did a fabulous job. Everybody, we encourage you to watch the entire recording. If you're watching it to this point, you likely already did, but use it over and over. And if you're not sure, again, reach out to your support there, which is Liv and Sandra. Thank you, everybody. We will see you again.
Bye, everybody. Thanks, Trevor. Thanks.